Fellas, we have got to talk about Diablo. Now, I'm just going to hit you with this right out the gate because some of us had no idea that this was how Diablo works. But for my Destiny players, you are probably not going to like this. In order to play the new seasonal content that's being introduced, you have to start a new character. I know we kind of covered this the other day during our breakdown of Blizzard's Campfire interview, but I felt like this needed to be its own video. Because guys, I am new to Diablo and I didn't even know this. The character you're playing right now, the character you're grinding out for, you're gearing up, you're hitting in-game, you're pushing to level 100, you can't even use that character when Season 1 begins. You have to start over, a new character, from level 1. Does it sound like sunsetting? Turns out that's exactly how Diablo works. All of us are rushing to get characters to level 100. I'm getting my Necromancer well into in-game now. And a ton of other Destiny streamers are also playing this game. And believe me, I'm a huge fan of Diablo. There's a reason why so many Destiny players like this game. That heavy loot grind, the in-game, the character builds, the god rolls, the metas, the heavy dopamine kick when finding super rare loot. Diablo has that. But there's this huge factor tied to how Diablo works in regards to seasons and character progression. That is almost the complete opposite of what we're used to seeing from a lot of other games, including Destiny. Now, because I and many other new Diablo players had no knowledge of the system, where you have to essentially start a fresh new character every season, we wanted to make this video right here giving you more clarification on this topic. Big shout out to my editor Jarrett, who also has a channel covering Diablo, and he was the one that actually brought this to my attention. But we're gonna go over the pros and cons here, as well as how the seasonal content will work in Diablo 4. So let's dive in. First off, in Diablo 4, you have two realms, the Eternal Realm and the Seasonal Realm. Think of these as two versions of the game. When you're in the character selection menu, you can actually see your created characters are a part of the Eternal Realm. This realm is a never-ending version of the game. That's why it's called Eternal. Right now, everyone who is playing Diablo 4 is playing in this realm, and it's the only realm currently available. That's because we are currently in a weird preseason time before any seasonal stuff has actually started. But when Season 1 comes around mid to late July, the seasonal realm will open up. So you're actually gonna have two realms in the game, two separate versions of the game. This seasonal realm is where all the seasonal content will be. Nobody knows what Season 1 will bring, but we know that seasons will add new forms of character progression, new quest lines, they'll follow a specific theme, new loot will also be added, and there's also going to be new things to do. All of that stuff will be added to the seasonal realm. Now, if you want to experience the seasonal content, you have to play in the seasonal realm, which means you have to start a new character because the characters you currently have are a part of the Eternal Realm, which doesn't get the seasonal stuff. The Eternal Realm might get new loot that's added, and it gets the balance patches and bug fixes, but that big seasonal content stuff is only playable in the seasonal realm. Now, this seasonal realm also includes everything that's in the Eternal Realm, like the entire base game and stuff. It just also has the seasonal content as well. So again, everything in the Eternal Realm is also in the seasonal realm, just not the other way around. So Cross, does that mean I have to start a new character every single season of Diablo 4? Yeah, you do, guys. And this is actually how Diablo works. And I know my Diablo mains are like, no shit, dude. Brother, I had no idea. But yeah, when any given season ends, your characters in the seasonal realm will get moved to the Eternal Realm. Then the next season will begin and you'll start another new character in the seasonal realm. So you're never losing your characters, but you will be required to start over if you want to play the seasonal content. Now, this is a huge difference from a lot of games out there, including Destiny. Diablo has never been about building up one single character forever and ever. Destiny is. It's always had some form of reset per se, where things change and you start again. Diablo also has a history of incorporating a leaderboard system, and lots of players throughout the years of Diablo games are accustomed to leaderboards and resets. A new season begins and boom, you've got everyone starting new characters and trying to race to max level to top the leaderboards. So for regulars of Diablo's franchise, this reset system isn't anything new. But for myself, and probably for a lot of you guys who are playing Diablo right now, this is a huge surprise. It also doesn't help that Blizzard isn't really making this info known to the general public outside of like casually mentioning it the other day during the Campfire interview. And what's so crazy is I've been seeing people actually grinding out multiple characters to level 100, trying to get them all max, thinking that they're gonna be able to bring these characters into the seasonal content and they're getting some sort of head start, when in fact that is not the case. Feels bad, man. Really. And honestly, if any any Diablo 4 devs are actually watching this video, I really hope this is communicated better on how the system for Diablo works in terms of seasonal characters, or you're gonna have a lot of angry players day one of season 1. And trust me, it's gonna get ugly. If you remember how bad sunsetting went with Destiny 2, yeah, well, it's not even an annual sunset. It's an every season sunset. But the thing is, guys, don't expect this system to change. This is just how Diablo works. These seasons last 3 months. A lot of the seasonal content leaves the game at the end of the season, and everything gets reset. So if you have an issue with things like the story and quest lines, seasonal activities, and seasonal progression systems leaving the game every single season, well, you may have a problem with this system overall. When a season ends, a new one will begin, just like with Destiny. They aren't planning on having any more pre-season periods or even downtime between seasons. So a season will end, some of that seasonal content will leave the game, a new season will begin, and that season's content will be added to the game. The only thing that does not leave is loot. Matter of fact, the devs have already said that new loot, new legendary aspects, new uniques, new codex powers are likely to be added with each season, and those will stay in the game forever, which is a good thing. You don't have to worry about missing out on things like loot or even having the loot you've collected taken away. The devs have also said that if there is a seasonal feature that players want to see stay around after the season has concluded, that can be something they look into and see about transferring that system into the Eternal Realm so that it becomes part of the main game. But let me reiterate here, Diablo is not a game where you're gonna have access to 4 seasons of content at once. These things cycle out. Seasons will come and go along with most of the content that they have. Now, it's also important to note that you don't pay for seasons in Diablo. That's right, guys. They are free. So I know everybody's like sharpening their pitchforks, but it's free. All the activity and content that comes with a season is completely free. Unlike in Destiny where you are directly paying for a season, and if you don't pay for a season or have a season pass, you really don't have access to anything related to that season. The issue with sunsetting in Destiny and the main argument there was that Bungie was taking away things that we paid for. Here in Diablo, that won't be the case because seasons are free. Expansions will be a thing for Diablo 4, and those will cost money, but not seasons. Now, just like Destiny, there will be a battle pass-like system in Diablo 4. It features a free and paid track. The paid track costs $10 and should only consist of cosmetics. There is no pay to win or anything like that, not even pay to progress. You aren't getting loot of any kind on the Diablo 4 battle pass. There are tiers with gameplay affecting currencies, but these tiers are only on the free track, and there's a built-in system in place to make sure you can't reach these faster just by paying money. Again, if you want more details on this point here, Jared actually has an entire video going over the battle pass for Diablo. Feel free to check out his channel and that video. His name is also Jared Lutz on YouTube. Now, the reason why this whole conversation came up, how I ended up finding out about having to start a new character every season, stems from the Campfire Chat live stream that the Diablo devs did here recently. Now, the topic that came up was changes that they are making to the Renown system for seasonal characters. They basically said that instead of your Renown completely resetting when a new season begins, you'll instead have all the renown that you've obtained via Altars of Lilith and map exploration already counted for your seasonal characters. Now, this means that if you've found all the Altars of Lilith and you've uncovered the entire map, when you start a new character in season 1, you'll already have 2 tiers of renown rewards from each region instead of just starting from scratch. Now, this was supposed to be a good announcement, a good change, and it is, but online we're seeing a lot of outrage and that renown shouldn't reset at all. And again, this is probably because most players of Diablo 4 have no idea that you have to start a new character for season 1. And for any season after that, players are literally angry about losing renown progress, which means they're gonna lose things like Paragon points awarded from renown. But this doesn't matter because you have to start a new character. Even if you had access to the Paragon points, you wouldn't be able to use them because you have to start at level 1. You don't even have a Paragon board until level 50. Now, the question I want to answer, why is the game like this? Why is the game separated into these 2 realms? Why can't I take my level 100 Necro or Druid or whatever into seasons from the Eternal Realm? One of the reasons is just because that's Diablo. And then the topic of leaderboards that we mentioned earlier, which were even a part of Diablo 2 way back when. Now, leaderboards won't be in the game for season 1 because they're still working on it at the request of the community, but they will come eventually and hopefully in time for season 2. Another reason Blizzard wants you to start a new character for seasons is because seasons will change the way you progress a character. There will be a new system system added alongside new quest lines, stories, and probably bosses tied to those quests. Each season is meant to offer up a unique experience with building your character. Just jumping in right out the gate with a level 100 would mean that you don't get to experience the building of a character because you're already done building, and you blast through everything, and then suddenly you're done with the content. And then you have people complaining that seasons don't add enough because their level 100 characters torched everything in a single day. Seasons will add content to the end game as well as the early game. Now, the goal of seasons is for them to be unique themed experiences within the world of Diablo. Experiences that change the way you play the game. Now, also, seasons bring new metas. Every season will be accompanied by big balance changes with a goal to balance things out, but this means that whatever build you have right now that's currently meta might not be meta in season 1. Blizzard doesn't want to nerf everything into the ground, and they likely won't do that, but they will make changes and buff underperforming skills or items. These altercations combined with the brand new gameplay system, new loots, and more that come with each season will likely shake up the meta for each class. There shouldn't be a scenario where your level 90 character that you're building now will suddenly become absolute garbage or unplayable because of balance changes. But metas change, and you might have to swap things as time goes on. But if you're playing in the seasonal realm, you don't really gotta worry about that because you gotta start over anyways. There will be a new meta to chase, new highly sought after items, new progression systems, new content, possibly new areas to explore, new quest lines, a new leveling and in-game experience because of the seasonal content and because of the likely meta shift. Which is why I suggest guys save a class to play for season 1. Don't grind every character to 100 right now. That way, alongside all this new content, the game actually feels fresher because you're playing a class that's completely new to you. So that's how the seasonal content and realms work for Diablo 4. Let me know in the comments below what you think, guys. Again, for my veteran Diablo players, I know you guys already know this. A lot of us here, we're new. I'm completely new. I was stunned when I heard that. At the same time, I get the system. I really do. I'm just thankful I haven't grinded my soul away trying to get so many characters to max level, thinking that was going to give me a leg up. I'm probably going to try a new character next season. I'm going to experience the game on a fresh set of legs. And no lie, I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. With that being said though, all this work I'm putting into my Neko right now to make him meta, it's going to suck putting him on the back burner. Again though, would love to know your thoughts on this, guys. Leave a comment down below. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching. And as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.